Evening, everybody, and welcome along to our Facebook Live. I'm Adrian, and that man there is Jeremy. And we want to have a conversation with you tonight about the issue that is going to be the issue over the next couple of weeks, and that, of course, is vaccination. And as we all know, the rollout of the vaccine here in Ireland is picking up. People are being offered vaccines very regularly. We all know somebody at this stage who's been vaccinated. My own parents have. Jeremy's mom has. And in fact, this week...
Second jab tomorrow. Second jab tomorrow for my mother.
Second jab tomorrow, yeah, which is fantastic. Yeah. Anyway, we want to have a conversation about vaccine hesitancy and find out why some people are a little bit reluctant. And you may have seen on our Facebook page earlier on this evening a post that we put up from a lady called Elaine, and I'm going to read Elaine's message in a second, but I want to get your reaction. All you have to do is send us a WhatsApp voice note to 085 8 25 26 26. 085 8 25 26 26. Send us a WhatsApp voice note. If you're somebody who is a little bit reluctant to have a vaccine, or if you're somebody who can't get your head around people who don't want to be vaccinated. Now, this week, the HSE is to start inviting people in their 50s to be vaccinated. Now, I'm unfortunately in my 50s, and I can't wait. I'm literally counting down the days.
Why can't you wait, by the way? Why can't you wait? Because I know as soon as you say that, there's people watching, there's hundreds of people watching this now, and as soon as they hear you say, I can't wait, they're going to say stuff like sheep, government shill, you're being paid to do that. Why would you want to take a vaccine that hasn't been proven? So I want you to explain to us. By the way, I'm in the same boat as you. You can put the vaccine into my eyeball now if you want it, and that's how much I want it. But I want you to explain, if you can, to our viewers and listeners why you want it so badly.
I'm fed up. You're fed up. We're all fed up. This thing has dragged out for a year. And in fact, this thing has affected people in more ways than just sickness and ending up in hospital. This whole COVID thing has affected our economy. You and I have lost our jobs as a direct result of COVID-19 because the advertising and the radio business has gone that way. And as a result,
but that's not why you want the vaccine.
No, that's not why I want the vaccine. I want the vaccine because I want my life back. I am fed up. I'm fed up not being able to go to a restaurant. I'm fed up not being able to hop on an airplane and go on my holidays.
Okay, hang on a sec. Sorry for stopping you there. Do you believe that you won't be able to do any of those things if you don't get a vaccine? Because that's not true. You will be able to, people who don't get vaccinated will not be all just put on an island together. I mean, in 6 months, I can't.
Okay, but another reason that I want to get the vaccine is I don't want to get sick from this thing. I've spent the last year avoiding it, ducking and diving, not shaking hands with people, standing 2 meters away from them so that I don't get this virus. I've known of people getting very, very, very sick from this thing. I don't fancy getting it. I've smoked all my bloody life, and I know if I were to get it, I'd probably be lashed out of it with this virus. So I don't want to get it.
Okay.
I don't want to be sick from it.
Okay, so simple answer is you want to take the vaccine because the vaccine doesn't cure COVID. Nothing cures COVID at the moment, but the vaccine will prevent you getting serious symptoms that you have. So
correct.
That's the first reason. And the second reason is you don't want to pass it on to somebody else.
Correct.
But you still can't pass it on even if you're vaccinated.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of all that. But if you are vaccinated, you are less likely to end up in hospital and you are not going to die. It's as simple as that. So I want to get this vaccine, firstly, because I don't want to be sick, but secondly, and more importantly, to start getting life back together again, to see this city of ours, to see this country of ours just empty of human beings and human interaction is just awful. If you want to give your opinion, send us a WhatsApp voice note right now to 085 8 25 26 26. Anyway, there's a reason we're having this conversation, and this is the message that we got earlier on today from a lady called Elaine. So let me read this message and let me get your reaction to this. Could you do a topic on this and see what people have to say? I work in a small factory that employs 25 people. Last week in work, we were talking about the vaccine on our break. Personally, I can't wait to get mine because I will feel much safer. The problem is that about 10 people we work with say they are not going to get it and believe it's a waste of time, which is a stupid attitude to have, says Elaine. I don't know how I feel about working in the same enclosed space as so many people who are not vaccinated. I wonder if other people are going through this. Surely you should be able to feel safe in work. They couldn't even give a good reason for not taking the vaccine. Idiots, says Elaine. Please don't read out my full name, obviously, Elaine, because you have to go and work with these people. So we want to get your reaction. Send us a WhatsApp voice note to 085 825 26 26. If you have decided that you are not going to get the vaccine, tell us why. I want to understand why. Here's my thing. Okay, and I know there's been much conversation about the fact that the vaccines haven't been tested properly, and they have been in reality. It's been rushed, you know, that it's all happened far too quickly. The reality of it is that the scientific brains of planet Earth, all of the best scientists in the world, have worked on this thing for the last...
not your Facebook doctors, not your Facebook experts.
No, proper doctors.
People in lab coats who work in that field, not Johnner, who has a Facebook page and, you know, has read a few YouTube posts and stuff like that. Yeah, actual qualified people.
Yeah. And I am a trusting sort of person. And what I mean by that is I'm prepared to accept the advice of the medical experts from the world, not just Ireland, not just Europe, from the entire world, who are telling us that these vaccines are predominantly safe. Every tablet that you take has side effects. If you were to read some of the tablets that we take on a daily basis, you'd never take a tablet again. And I'm prepared.
And that's one of the issues, actually. Yeah, that is one of the issues. You see these people on Facebook. You've been looking at them for the last year, and they're spouting on their live videos about, you know, how the vaccine is not safe and it's not tested. Fair enough, but these same people wouldn't hesitate about banging a line of coke up their nose on a Saturday night. They probably have. Some of them, I'm sure, have done cocaine. You know, people smoke cigarettes.
And you have no idea what's in that.
What's there, like 800 different ingredients in a cigarette? So you have these people eating cigarettes with one side of their mouth, and then the other side of the mouth, they're telling you that the vaccine isn't safe. I mean, come on, lads. Like, use a bit of cop on. You have women go mad at us on Facebook on a regular basis. Oh, you're promoting the vaccine. It's not safe. Those same women, as soon as the Botox shops will be open, they'll be down getting Botox and get their lips done. What's in lip injections? And do you know what's in lip injections?
No, I have no idea. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of people, a lot of women predominantly, take the contraceptive pill, which is much more dangerous in terms of clotting. Anyway, we would love to hear from you. Send us a WhatsApp voice note to 085 825 26 26. If you've decided not to get the COVID-19 vaccine, all I really want to know is why. That's a simple question. Why have you decided not to get the COVID-19 vaccine? And this isn't being judgmental. This isn't being judgmental, by the way. Yeah, go on.
T wants to know on Facebook, lads, do you believe in forced vaccinations? Because that's how it's coming across. Absolutely not. I don't believe in forced vaccination. I don't think anybody does. I haven't heard one person in the last year. No, I'm open to correction, but I haven't heard one person of authority speaking out in the last year saying that people should be held down against their will and vaccinated. Nobody has said that. You haven't said it. I haven't said it.
No.
So,
and there is no forced vaccination. Nobody is going to be pinned to a table and have their arm held outstretched while they have a vaccine jabbed into their arm. That's just not going to happen. All right, let's get some of your reaction.
Sorry, let me read out this, because Miguel is very angry. He says, where's my body, my choice gone? How dare you compare taking cocaine to taking the vaccine? I've never taken... I'm sorry if you're upset with that comparison, but people take cocaine. I don't know if you've looked up the stats in Dublin or in Ireland, Miguel. Cocaine use is off the bloody charts. It has been for the last 15 years. And there are people who will, when they're having a night out, or will go to festivals and they'll take cocaine, they'll take pills, they'll buy a pill off Johnner at the at the festival, they won't know what's in the pill, but they will take it and without knowing what's in it. That is our comparison. That people put things in their body every single day of the week without knowing what they are.
All right. 0858 25 26 26 is our WhatsApp number if you want to get involved in this conversation. If you've decided not to get the COVID-19 vaccine, why? That's the question. Simple question. Let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice note from Sandy.
Hi, Adrian Jeremy. It's Sandra here down the Midlands. I just rang the doctor the other day to find out when will I be getting my COVID vaccination. And she turned around and she said to me, well, have you any underlying illnesses? I said, you should know that. I said, it's on my file. Because online it turns around and it says that you have to go onto the HSC website. But I found it a little bit confusing.
Oh, sorry. I'm after cutting her off. Sorry, my apologies. Hang on there for 1 second. Hang on now.
So basically your own doctor is not passing the information onto the HSC to find out if you have any underlying illnesses. So what I'm trying to say is that I was in level 7, whatever that means. So they said that they would put a red flag in it because of my underlying illness and bring me up on the list. So I would recommend that people ring their GP to find out where they are on the list, because your doctor will know and tell them of your underlying illness. So basically I won't get mine until June. Yeah, June.
0858 25 26 26 is our WhatsApp number if you want to send us a message and explain to us if you've decided not to have the COVID-19 vaccine, why. And the reason we're talking about
Victoria.
this... Yeah, go on.
Sorry, Victoria's message on Facebook, just before her message disappears. She says, lads, why would you take a vaccine for something you've almost no risk of dying from? I understand why at-risk people would want to, but if you're young and healthy, there's no reason to actually take it since it doesn't prevent transmission. Someone explain that to me. Why on earth would you take a vaccine when you're not at risk? We know a guy. In fact, we worked with a guy until a couple of weeks ago who, up until last year, was young, fit, and healthy. There's been articles
24 years of age.
24, sporty, the whole lot. He developed COVID. What was it? Just before Christmas last year, wasn't it? How did it affect him?
In fact, the whole family did. The whole family did. So there's Mammy, there's Daddy, and there's a son and a daughter. Daddy and the son ended up in hospital. 24-year-old young fella. The young fella of 24 was in hospital longer than his dad, who's in his 50s, and Mammy and the daughter weren't sick really at all. So it affects different people in different ways. But this 24-year-old fit, healthy young man was on the flat of his back in hospital for weeks, and he really was in a bad way. And I don't want to get that. I want this vaccine so that I'm not that soldier that ends up in hospital sick with this thing. And as I said earlier
do you respect someone's right who doesn't want the vaccine? Do you respect someone
if they've a good reason? That's the problem. Yeah. Some people aren't giving valid reason. They are not explaining why they don't want to get this vaccine. There are different types of vaccines. We know there have been conversations about blood clotting and all of that with some of the vaccines. And I understand how that makes people a little bit nervous. But you have as much, if not greater risk of developing blood clots and all sorts from half the medication that we take every day of the week. That's just the fact of it. Let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice note from Pete. And Pete is in the Isle of Man. And if you want to send a voice note, the number is 0858 25 26 26. 0858 25 26 26. Very easy number to remember. This is Pete from the Isle of Man.
Hi lads, it's Pete in the Isle of Man. I had my first vaccine jab at the start of April.
Oh, he's gone. Voice note just stops there.
Everything was fine. There was no problems at the vaccines. Since then, everything's come out about the blood clots and people dying from it. But I'm still going to get it. You know, I'm looking forward to it. Here in the Isle of Man, we don't have a lockdown at the moment. We're living a normal life. We can go to the pub, we can go out for meals. You know, we've gone from trying to get rid of the virus to like a mitigation style of we're going to live with it now. You know, so most people over here are happy to get the vaccine and live a normal life. I think it's here to stay for at least the next 2 years anyway. Looking forward to the new show, lads. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, there you go. Even though it's been, you know, there's been talk about blood clots and everything else, he's had his first and he's happy to have a second and take a risk. If you go on a long drive from here down to Cork or from here to West Cork and you're driving country roads, you're much more likely to die in a car crash than any adverse effects from the vaccines. Keep your messages coming in. The WhatsApp number is, and in fact, we have a lot of people messaging us from abroad as well. It's 00353 858 25 26 26. 085 8 25 26 26. If you want to give your opinion, we'd love to hear from you. If you've decided not to take the COVID-19 vaccine, why? Okay, that's the simple question. Why have you decided not to take it? And the reason we're talking about this is a message that we got from a lady called Elaine. And she says, I work in a small factory that employs about 25 people. Last week in work, we were talking about the vaccine on our break. Personally, I can't wait to get mine because I will feel much safer. The problem is that about 10 people we work with say they're not getting it and believe it's a waste of time, which is a stupid attitude to have. I don't know how I feel about working in the same enclosed space as so many people who are not vaccinated. I wonder if other people are going through this. Surely you should be able to feel safe and work. They couldn't even give a good reason for not taking the vaccine. Idiots. Says,
that's going to be a problem.
Elaine.
That's going to be a problem going forward. It's definitely going to be a problem going forward because I've been looking up the legalities of this and it's a legal nightmare because on one hand, no company can force a staff member to take a vaccine. No company is going to sack you if you don't take the vaccine. However, and this is important, there is a duty of care that an employer has that you are made feel safe when you go into your place of work, whether that's a building site, the scaffolding has to be done right. If it's an office, you know, the office has to be well ventilated, it has to have heating, it has to have all the mod cons that you would expect. And that also involves your safety. That's why the smoking ban came into place, was to create a safe atmosphere for employees. And because what was happening in a lot of other countries was employees were suing their employers because they were breathing in smoke in their place of work. So you have a barman who's working in a smoky bar for 20 years, breathing in fumes. He's not a smoker himself. So that was brought in to make the workplace safer. And that's going to be an issue because if I, for instance, go back into work next week and I'm working in an office with 15 people and, well, say at Christmas time, there's 15 people in the office and I know that 10 of them aren't vaccinated. Do I feel safe? Maybe not. What can I do about it? I go to my employer and I say, I don't feel safe in this workplace because there's several people who aren't vaccinated. That leaves the employer with a complete and utter headache. And I don't know how they're going to deal with that. I really don't.
All right, keep your messages coming in if you want to get involved in this conversation. We're talking about Elaine's message. Elaine is annoyed. She calls her co-workers idiots because they have decided, 10 of them out of 25 have decided they are not getting vaccinated, and we're trying to understand if you're not getting it, why. Send us a WhatsApp voice note to 085 8 25 26 26. 085 8 25 26 26. And we just want to understand why, if you're not getting it, why have you decided not to get it? Have you ever even hesitated about this? Is this something that you've even had to think twice about?
No, not at all. I did my own research. That's what the alt-right and the conspiracy theorists and all that keep saying. Do your research. The truth is coming. The truth is coming. I did my research and I'm in school. I went to college You know, I'm intelligent. I can tell the bullshit from the non-bullshit. My wife, who I live with, is a medical professional. She studied in college as a medical professional. She knows all about, you know, the transmission of particles. She knows about vaccines. She administers vaccines every day. I asked her because I will value her opinion more than I'll value Dr. Facebook's opinion. So I've taken that all on board myself. I'm not being forced by anybody to take it. And I mean, there's a lot of messages coming in. What are you afraid of? If you're vaccinated, what should you be afraid of? Vaccination is like, okay, here's how I heard someone sum up being vaccinated, okay? Being vaccinated is like wearing a bulletproof jacket, okay? So your life is at risk. You're in a high crime area. You get vaccinated, it's like a bulletproof vest. Now, that bulletproof vest will protect you if you get shot, but it won't give you 150% protection. You could get shot in a part of your body that's not covered by the bulletproof vest. And that's a simple analogy for it, is that nothing, no matter how many times, you could get 50 jabs, nothing is going to protect you 150% from COVID-19. But is it not better to wear that, you know, to wear that bulletproof jacket than wear no jacket at all? That's my take on it anyway.
All right, let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice.
Hey lads, I just want to say I work in a clothes shop in Dublin, and I will be asking my colleagues if they've been vaccinated or not. I think it's only fair that people around us should know who isn't vaccinated and who is, for our own peace of minds, our families' peace of minds, and just a safe working environment generally. Like, you know, I think the employers should definitely take this on as policy.
Yeah, I mean, again, this comes back to the conversation about forced vaccination. And I don't support forced vaccination. I wouldn't be in any way in favor of insisting that people get it. However,
that's pretty much what he's saying, though. That's what he's saying. He wants to know. I mean, can we listen to that message again? Because
let's have a listen to this. Hang on. Here we go.
Hey lads, just want to say I work in a clothes shop in Dublin, and I will be asking my colleagues if they've been vaccinated or not. I think it's only fair that people around us should know who isn't vaccinated and who is, for our own peace of minds, our families' peace of minds, and just a safe working environment generally. Like, you know, I think the employers should definitely take this on as policy.
Yeah, I don't see a situation where employers are going to be able to say you can't come into the office if you're not vaccinated. Maybe it will happen. But here's one thing that we have no control over. If, for example, the United States were to announce next week, which they haven't yet, but they most quite likely will, that you cannot come to the United States on your holidays if you're not vaccinated. What are we going to do? Are we going to, what, do we ring Joe Biden and say, Joe, this isn't fair? That's their business. That's their policy. And there will be nothing that any of us can do about that if the states make that a policy. And you can see already how this vaccine passport is going to become a thing. So that's not forced vaccination. You don't have to go and see Mickey Mouse in Disneyland. But if you want to go and see him,
it's taking away your rights if you don't. Like there are people, you have to respect people who are hesitant about being vaccinated. You have to.
Absolutely, I don't have an issue with that.
But you're more or less taking.
But
away
if the United
rights.
States of America makes it one of their border entry policies that you have to be vaccinated, there is nothing we can do about that. Nothing. So if you want to go and
I can tell you one thing. You'll have Gemma and her crew down outside the American embassy. Let me tell you that. For a couple of nights on the trot, because people will get very annoyed about that. But that is the reality. And I think what's going to happen is all these people who are so anti-vax on social media, because it's the cool thing to be now. It's a little niche group, you know. All these people who are shouting and screaming, don't inject that poison into me. A lot of them will secretly go and get vaccinated because they want to go to the Canaries for Christmas. That's the
yeah, I would agree, 100%.
They won't shout about it, by the way. They won't shout and scream about it on Facebook. They won't put up a photograph of their little vaccine cert, but they'll be heading off to Maspalomas for Christmas with their family. Can be guaranteed. All
right, let's read out some of your messages. If you want to send us a WhatsApp voice note, we're only going to be with you for another couple of minutes. 0858 25 26 26 is our WhatsApp number. 0858 25 26 26. This message says, I'm 44 and got my first one on the 1st of April and have no problem getting my second one. I'm a diabetic. It's the reason I got mine early. And also my brother is in a nursing home and we have our first indoor visit tomorrow in his room, which is fantastic. That's the whole idea behind this, is just, you know, lessen the risk of you bringing the virus in, less of a risk of you ending up getting very sick. In fact, Luke O'Neill had a very clever graphic the other day that he put up on social media, Professor Luke O'Neill from Trinity College. And he showed how if you're vaccinated, all it really does for you is stops you getting very sick. And it's as simple as that. There's a few more messages coming in. Let me read this one. Listen, lads. Oh, sorry, hang on. This one here. Evening, lads. I can't send a voice message here. It's Jean. Between 5 and 7% of the nation have what's called and are more prone to blood clotting. However, I will happily take a pint of whatever vaccine is available to me when it becomes available. And that's the fact.
Yeah. To the people commenting in, like Tim is commenting on Facebook names saying Luke O'Neill hasn't had the vaccine. Luke O'Neill made that very clear in the interview he did. He was asked whether or not he had gotten the vaccine yet. And he said, no, he hadn't, because he was going to wait his turn. He never said, I'm not getting the vaccine because it's poison, because I'm afraid of taking it. He said, let someone who's on the front line, he's not on the front line. He's working with a small group
in a lab with 3 people.
In a lab somewhere. That's all he is. He's not in ICU units. And that's what he said to him. So use a bit of intelligence there. If you're going to message in comments like that, at least make them based on fact. And the fact is that he said he would wait his turn. That's the simple fact. There's no conspiracy here. He didn't say that he's afraid of it. I'm not going to be a guinea pig, says Sinead. Why would I want to be a guinea pig and a lab rat for a vaccine that's not tested? What would you say to that?
Here's the thing. Firstly, the vaccines have been tested. They've been tested on tens of thousands of people. And now, if you look at countries like Israel, where they've nearly got their entire population vaccinated, that's real world testing. They are, do you know what I mean? It's being rolled out to tens of millions of people. People aren't dropping dead. Yes, there have been some very, very rare blood clotting incidents, but no more than would be the case for lots of different medications that we all take. If you've a very quick comment, get it into us, because we're going to be finishing with you in a second. 0858 25 26 26 is our WhatsApp number. 0858 25 26 26.
You know what else we need to do as well moving forward as well? You need to stop shaming people who proclaim proudly that they've got the vaccine. I've seen a lot of this on Twitter over the last couple of days where someone would put up their cert or after getting their jab and say, you know, thumbs up, I'm so happy I just got the jab. And then you get these absolute arseholes coming on, oh, sheep, you lab rat and all this. If someone is happy to get the vaccine, leave them at it. Why would it affect you? Why would you be so angry about someone else getting the vaccine? It's their body. If they want to get it and they want to shout about how happy they are that they're getting it, go ahead.
And like I said, this week, people in their 50s will be able to register starting at 59, 58, 57, 56, and so on. And I'm literally counting the days until my turn comes around and I can actually get the vaccine.
Okay, Kira says on the flip side of this, stop shaming people who don't want it. When have we shamed people who don't want it? What Adrian said, Adrian made a very valid point. What he said was, if somebody doesn't want to take it and they have a valid reason, that is the key word, a valid reason. And I have to be honest with you, anybody I've spoken to who doesn't want to take it hasn't been able to give me a valid reason. They haven't been able. They sent me YouTube links of this fella and that fella saying this and that. And they sent me memes that were made up in an 18-year-old's bedroom, but they haven't been able to back it up with scientific fact. And I think that's the point you were making. If somebody doesn't want to get it, give me a good reason why.
0858 25 26 26 is our WhatsApp number if you want to send us a very quick WhatsApp voice note. If you have decided to not get the COVID-19 vaccine, and we have 4 now that are approved for use here in Ireland. What is your reason for not wanting to get vaccinated? Me, I'm being honest, I can't wait. I'm literally counting down the days until I can get one of these vaccines. The reason we're talking about this is a message from a lady called Elaine, and she's annoyed that people in her workplace weren't able to give a good enough reason. 10 of them out of a small group of 25 in this particular workplace weren't able to give a good enough reason as to why they weren't getting the vaccine.
Here we go. They're coming out now, Adrian, out of the woodwork. Clara wants to know, are you getting paid for this? It's gaslighting. No, we're not getting paid for it. We're not getting a brown envelope. Clara, I couldn't give a fiddler's you know what if you get vaccinated or not. If you don't want to get vaccinated, how many times do we have to say this? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that is your choice. Absolutely your choice. But don't come crying to me if you happen to pass it on to an elderly relative or a relative that's, you know, that's high risk. It's completely your choice. And there's nowhere in the last half an hour that either myself or Adrian have said you should get vaccinated. It's completely your choice.
All right, let's have a listen to this WhatsApp voice note from Stephen.
Well, lads, I totally don't agree with what you're saying there at all. It is, you are being forced to take the vaccine 100%. If you can't get into another country, my body, my choice. And the fella about his work colleagues, that's none of his business what people put into their body or what they don't. Simple as that. That's my opinion.
The bottom line is we can't dictate to other countries what their border policies are. I've spoken to people who've gone to places in deepest, darkest Africa, and they have to get vaccines for yellow fever, for example, to enter certain countries in Africa. That's forced vaccination. In that, but you don't have to go to these countries. Similarly,
you look even at America. Okay, when most people watching this now have been to America at some stage, yeah, and you will remember very clearly that when you're on the plane going to America, halfway across the Atlantic, the air hostess comes along with a little green card that you have to fill out in order to gain access to the United States of America. And on that green card, it asks you many, many questions. Have you ever been charged with a criminal assault? Have you ever done time in prison? Have you ever been a member of an illegal organization? Blah, 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 blah. It even asks you about, I can't remember the exact, but it does ask you about different illnesses that you may have had. You all happily tick those boxes because you want to gain access to the United States of America. You know, you answer those questions. You cannot get into America. Now, I know it's slightly different, but countries have always had rules about entering. You cannot get into the United States of America if you have a criminal record. That's just the way it is. Yeah, that's just the way it is. And people accept that if you have a criminal record, you're not going to Disney World with the kids this summer. That's the way it is. Every country is entitled to have whatever rules they deem fit. And those rules have been around for years.
All right, another couple of messages. I'm getting married in September. My partner's sister won't get the vaccine. She's in her 60s, so I've told her she's not invited to the wedding. Now, I don't know how other people feel about that. Not invited to the wedding, and they want to have a normal wedding. By September, you'd like to think that we can have normal weddings like we used to know back in the olden days, and she doesn't want this woman who's not prepared to be vaccinated at her wedding. Now, here's the thing, though. This woman who's refusing to get vaccinated, if she were to go to the wedding and then she gets the virus from somebody else who's in the room, she's the one who's going to end up very sick. And then the girl who's getting married is going to get the blame for it, which seems very unfair. All right. Can you
imagine the speech at the start of the wedding? Can all the vaccinated people sit on the left-hand side of the room, all the unvaccinated people on the right-hand side? And do not dare dance with the unvaccinated people, please. Don't go near them. Can you imagine?
All right, somebody else sent me a screenshot of, I don't know what newspaper this is in. Can you, what are your opinions? Household pets in line for COVID vaccine. So Sparky and Molly might get the, where's that story from actually? One of the UK newspapers anyway, because they're still unsure if your dog can actually get COVID-19. Anyway, interesting conversation. We really appreciate you getting involved in our chat this evening about the vaccine and about your thoughts about not getting vaccinated. And Elaine, thank you very much indeed for sending us your message about your colleagues and work. And if there's
I just want to say as well, sorry, yeah, so it's very important to say this because this has been going on for the last 38 minutes, this particular topic. And, you know, we've allowed all opinions. You had your chance. Adrian gave out the WhatsApp voice note number. We haven't been picking and choosing what voice notes to play. So for those of you who are going mad on Facebook now saying, oh, it was very one-sided, you had your opportunity. Like, what more can we do other than call around to your house. You had your opportunity to get your point across on this show this very night in the last 40 minutes. And if you didn't bother, that's your own problem.
All right. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. We'll be back with you here on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D during the week. And as we've mentioned to you on several occasions, we're not on the radio at the minute, but we are currently in the process of behind the scenes working out our next move.
Big project.
Yeah, which will be happening very soon. Enjoy that beautiful weather. It's like the middle of December out where I live. I'm sure it's the same where you are, but enjoy the lovely weather.
Beat the Chasers is on at 9 o'clock as well, by the way.
Oh, brilliant! All right.
That's what I'm
okay. Have a great evening. We will talk to you later on later on this week, right here on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Adrian K and Jeremy D. I'm Adrian. He's Jeremy, and from us,
Bye-bye.
good night. Bye.